TheLandOfIsrael.com and Israel National TV present Ari and Jeremy Gimpel. Live from the heart of Israel, it's Tuesday Night Live in Jerusalem.
Shalom and welcome to Tuesday Night Live in Jerusalem. Every night we gather here, we try to encourage people to reconnect to Israel, to make Aliyah. And tonight, we're going to give some practical tools. We've given context, we've given a history, we've given heroes to model ourselves after. But tonight, we're going to give people practical tips and advice on how to make the transition from the exile to Israel. But first, I have to make a confession. I have an unhealthy relationship with shawarma. You know, it's the meat that spins around, and there's the meat and the layers, and then the fire burns the meat, and then the fat oozes are on the meat. That stuff will kill you. And, you know, it looks like, growing up in America, Jewish food always sounded like something you didn't want to eat. Like, would you like some kreplach? Or some kugel or knedel? And then Jews fighting or being envious over other Jewish foods. Oh, you guys eat gebrachs. Oh, yeah, I wish my family ate gebrachs. I come to Israel, and it's like shawarma. And that stuff will kill you. If you've made Aliyah, stay away from it, because once you start, you can't stop.
I'll attest to it. It's a cyclical, abusive, codependent relationship he has. I can't even see it anymore.
It's wrong. But the reason why, seriously, why am I telling you all this? Because someone moving to Israel, whether they're observant or non-observant, it's a leap of faith. Israel always seems impossible. It seems like how could we possibly survive in a sea of enemies, economic challenges? And to make a successful transition, you need to not only penetrate the illusions of the exteriors of Israel, but you need to penetrate the inner essences of your soul and reconnect to your identity. Because only with a strong Jewish identity and a real sense of mission and purpose can you live your best life in Israel.
Now, I believe that Israel, and Jerusalem in specific, is undoubtedly the international capital of unsolicited advice. I'll tell you. There's so many Jews that are living in this city, in this place called Israel, that have left their biological families behind, come alone to the land of Israel, and almost instinctively, the people of this land pick up the slack, and they fill that void with invitations for Shabbat, with perpetual interruptions, with lots of advice and other family-like behaviors. Now, I'll tell you, when I first was acclimating into my life here in Israel, I was going through that same bureaucratic hazing process that really is almost a rite of passage for so many people in this country, so many immigrants, and while they're getting better, it's still known to be a nightmare. I spent more time standing in lines than being out of them. And right as I was about to lose it and just declare I am an illegal alien resident and I just don't care about any offices, a friend of mine came and gave me a piece of advice that I'll never forget. He said to me, he quoted from Masechet Brachot in the Talmud, Tractate Brachot. He says, there are 3 things that are acquired only through hardships, only through pain: Torah, the land of Israel, and the world to come. He said, every hardship, every line you go through, every trouble and tribulation, you're acquiring a portion in the land of Israel. And that really it put into perspective for me, because anywhere else in the world, you get a jaywalking ticket, tough luck. You have a jaywalking ticket. But in Israel, when you're paying that jaywalking ticket, you are acquiring your stake in the land, your portion of the land of Israel. And you're giving money to the Jerusalem municipality. How bad could that be? We're giving money to Jerusalem. Yeah, and as long as we're talking about jaywalking tickets, let me give my piece of advice. If indeed, God forbid, you do get approached to get a jaywalking ticket, forget every last bit of Hebrew that you know, look the policeman in the eye and sincerely, authentically, respectfully say to him, Ani iparon. I'm a pencil. Ani tapuach, that could work too. I'm an apple. That works. It could get you out of the ticket. So now come with us as we turn the show over to the Jews of Jerusalem, the veteran Olim, who are all too happy to share their own advice to our beloved new arrivals. Hear what they have to say. Come with us to downtown Jerusalem where you can meet the streets.
And now meet the street with Ari and Jeremy.
So you're a veteran Ole. What would your advice be to all the new Olim that have now arrived?
Take it easy. There will be I Hate Israel days, but they'll get fewer and more far between. And it's just enjoy it. It's unbelievable.
What advice would you give as an Olah to Olim that are coming to Israel right now? Advice about their new life in Israel.
Well, first of all, I'd say Yalla. First, hurry up and get here because you can't afford to wait any longer. So the first thing is a sense of urgency. I would urge them to have a sense of urgency about picking up and moving and not waiting till the dollar's worth more, the shekel's worth less, or they sell their house at the right price. Every minute you waste not making Aliyah is exponentially made up for by bad things happening on the other side.
What would your advice be to the new Olim?
Come ready to have lots of fun because it's really fun here.
The advice is to just ignore what's going on around you and just love the land, that's all.
So what did you do in America?
Believe it or not, I was a synagogue rabbi.
Well, what would your advice be to all the other synagogue rabbis around America that have not yet made Aliyah?
It's time to lead by example, and in this case, leave by example.
What would you say about the Israeli culture shock?
It definitely...
But I think that really, in order to be successful, you have to forget about all your preconceived notions and conceptions and let go of the trappings of North America. I've met Olim that complain that they can't find the cereal brands that they were used to, or the clothes, or the shampoos. They get caught up in these trappings, and it's really very silly. And I think that you have to just realize that life is going to be different here. I'm reminded of the Jewish people in the Midbar complaining and saying, we remember the onions and the cucumbers. We remember the fish that we got for free in Egypt. You have to just come with an open mind and with a certain freshness. Actually, in the Talmud, it says that Rabbi Zera, before he made Aliyah from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael, he fasted 100 fasts in order to forget the Babylonian Talmud. And Rashi explains, there's a different style of learning in Bavel versus in Eretz Yisrael, but the truth is, it's part of that adjustment, that, forgetting the past and embracing the future.
It definitely exists.
Rega, just one. Ari,
You made Aliyah from the United States?
That's right.
On your own?
Yeah, I did.
I'm actually asking him. You made Aliyah from the United States?
No, I'm born here.
You're born here? Oh man, you're drooling.
He does
Am I that intellectually stimulating?
yes?
That's what you can
Just 1 minute.
be prepared for.
So first of all, I would say hurry up. And second of all, I would say once you get here, don't rush. Because hurry up and get out of here, but once you get here, you have to meld into the experience of living in Eretz Yisrael.
What percentage of your earthly possessions would you be willing to forfeit to remain here in the land of Israel?
Everything.
Everything you own?
Everything. Well, we gave up our 2 Toyotas. We had 2 brand new Toyotas.
Brand new Toyota.
That was a big deal.
And now with the acceleration, you would have driven into walls by now.
Right.
So saved your life.
I've already given up 100% of my earthly possessions to make sure that I could come and stay to Israel. I came here with 3 suitcases, much of which the contents were stolen in 2 successive robberies. So I've already given up all my earthly possessions.
Do you have any regrets?
Not at all.
What percentage of your earthly possessions would you be willing to give up to stay here in the land of Israel?
98%.
98%.
Right.
But if someone said 100%, you're like, I'm going back to the exile.
100%.
100%.
100%, you're right. He put me on the spot. You have convinced me 100%.
100%.
Right.
Here you can be comfortable, you can be Jewish, you can have your beard flowing, your tzitzit flowing, you're free to practice your religion as you feel. There you feel stifled, you feel uncomfortable, you feel you're an oddity, it's awkward there, it's not natural. Here in Eretz Yisrael, the Torah lives and breathes in its natural habitat.
The fact is that when you're in America and when you're in Israel, you're two different people. You're not the same thing.
Okay, so now that you're here, what are you going to do to make Israel a more beautiful country? Even more than it is right now.
Well, me being here makes it a beautiful country.
They need to really understand that there is no future for Jews anywhere outside of Israel. The future is here no matter what happens. And the change of leaving wherever they are and coming to Israel is always a positive one, and it's always for the best, and it turns out great.
What's your favorite thing about Israel that contrasts to the African safari?
There's a lot more animals here. Israel's actually safer than most other places I've been to.
So why did you make Aliyah?
I didn't make Aliyah yet. I'm studying here in university at Machon Lev.
But you're never going to leave.
I probably won't.
You're going to shave your head and go into the army.
I wish I could do the army, but I'm going to tell you something for sure. I wasn't thinking of ever making Aliyah before coming here. I was just coming here for the year, then going back to Montreal, going to university there. But now I'm really thinking about it, like seriously thinking about it, because I'm just having an amazing year and it's just a great time.
What do you think maybe we go to Montreal, we burn down a couple synagogues, get the fear of God in these Jews, and then they'll be like, oh my goodness, we got to go to Israel. Good idea?
I don't know if that's a good
Your
idea.
family's synagogue.
Yeah, if you do that, they'll probably be...
No, I'm not doing it. That's crazy, but you can do it. It was your idea.
I don't know about that, but I'm for sure...
It's on tape. Everybody saw it.
1/3 of the mitzvot in the Torah can only be performed here in the land of Israel. That's pretty telling as to the centrality of the land of Israel. And while, the Jew for 2,000 years in exile should feel proud to be Jewish and to express his Judaism, to serve God as he wishes, and has to have that holy chutzpah, as the Hasidic masters speak of, that is only until we have an opportunity to come back. And after 2,000 years, for the last 61 years, it's been handed to us on a silver platter.
What I'm going to name my firstborn son, Doo-Doo.
Okay.
Doo-Doo. And my daughter's Moron and Osnat. Because they're not going to leave the land of Israel and go to live in America with a name like that, no? There's beauty to that idea, no?
Could you give a bracha as a rabbi to all of the new Olim? What would your bracha be today?
My bracha is that you really feel that this is your home. That you really just embrace it, and the same way when you come into your home and you take off your coat and you sit on your couch and you just feel so relaxed and so at home, that you feel that this is really your home and that this is where you belong and this is where you hang your hat.
What bracha would you like to give to all the new Olim?
You should stay here, and you should plant roots here, and you should have children and grandchildren here, and they should all stay in the land.
What would your bracha be to all of the new Olim that just stepped off foot from the plane?
My bracha, that's a hard one. But wait, let me channel it. First, savlanut, you should have lots of patience, and you should realize that everything's happening exactly as it's supposed to be happening, and that Hashem should only put you together with people who will do you good and not harm, that you should be able to tell the difference between olam shel sheker and olam shel kombina. That is the prevailing thing that happens here sometimes, and being able to see the good, the nikudat tovah and everything, and to rejoice as you shed all of the layers of the galut behind you and peel them away like onions, piece by piece, until you emerge new and fresh and holy and whole in the Holy Land.
Could you sing a song for all the Jews that are coming from America, from Canada, from North America, from throughout the world, come back to the land of Israel? Maybe a welcome song, some sort of Aliyah song?
An Aliyah song.
You're thinking too much. It's got to be from the heart.
Yeah, it's going to be from the heart. בוא נעלה לציון, נעלה לציון, נעלה לציון. בוא נעלה לציון, נעלה לציון, נעלה לציון. It's been 2,000 years right now that we're waiting so long. And the bodies are already here, so let's bring all our brothers from America and from Canada. Right down here, right?
Throughout the world.
Throughout the world. בוא נעלה לציון, נעלה לציון, נעלה לציון. בוא נעלה לציון, נעלה לציון, נעלה, בוא 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 נעלה.
After meeting the streets of Jerusalem, stay tuned next week when we meet a hero of Israel, prisoner of Zion, a former member of Knesset, a man who sat for 9 years in the Siberian Gulag for Israel, the chairman of the Jewish Agency, Natan Sharansky. Shalom from Jerusalem.
Samchem, Samchem, B'vinyan Shalem. Samchem, 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 Samchem, B'vinyan Shalem. Something, something, within your challenge. Something, something, within your challenge. Something, something, within your challenge. Be happy, holy Eden. Something, something, within your challenge. 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 La 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 Something, something, within your challenge. Something,